Hey everyone, I'm going to give you a really quick look at the Homeschooler app, the homeschool management app that's super easy to use. And it's only going to take a couple of minutes because that's all you really need. So after you purchase your Homeschooler app subscription, you're going to be taken to the school settings. As you can see here, this is where you fill in your school details, your school year, the breaks that you're going to have, and then you can actually set your grading. This is more pertinent for older kids, maybe in middle school and high school, but you can set that here. So first things first, you're going to be able to input all of your details, a school name. So if you name your homeschool, which is a pretty good practice, you could put in your name, your email, your phone number, and your address, and then you would save those changes, and they would save here. Next up, you would go to years. We already have a year in here. You can see that these dates are not, they're very arbitrary, but this is when we started and when we intend to end this year, and then the total number of days that we would like to have. If you want to add a school year, you just put it in here, 2026 to 2027. You just give it a name. You choose your start date, you choose your end date, and then you put in the number of days, and then you create the school year. We already have one in here. Now let's go ahead and add a break. So I go over to the breaks tab, and I click add first break. We just finished up with Thanksgiving, so we're going to go and add a Christmas break here. We'll go ahead and set the date for December 22nd, and then we will say that we will return to school on the 5th. And then I'm going to add that break. And as you can see, there is a break here. And now the break is also logged in our school year. And again, the grading scale, you can change these, what your grading scale actually is. You can edit these and then change the credits and things like that. Typically, it's 1 credit for a full year, half a credit for a semester in middle school and high school. And then you can change your grading scale here and then save changes at the bottom. Next up, what you're going to want to do is add some students. So you go to the Students tab here in the left sidebar. You click Add a Student. We're just going to name our first student John Smith. We'll give them a birthday. You can actually click the month and the year. You can do this on mobile too. It looks good on mobile. We will say that it is February 7th of 2015. It's a male. He'll be in 5th grade, and we will create. And then there is John. We'll add one more, just create. Now we have our 2 students. Now, after you have your school details and your school year set and your students added, you can actually begin adding curriculum. This is the page that you're going to meet with when you don't actually have a subject or a course. How our curriculum works is you create subjects like broad subjects, math, science, etc. And then individual courses. So for instance, we use Saxon Math for our son's homeschool. So I would put Saxon Math in the course and then tabulate the number of lessons in there. And then you create the individual lessons as well. So let's go ahead and start with our first subject. And I will actually call it math. I will label it the blue color there. You can also customize your color here, anything you'd like. So now our first subject is created. When I click into that, it's going to show create a math course, or I can add a course up here. So I'm going to click create a math course. I can upload the image of Saxon Math if I would like. I can allow multiple students in this course, which I will show you that in just a moment. But right now we're just going to select John, and we're going to say Saxon Math 6, 5. Select the school year for this year. The subject's already pre-populated because I chose to create a math course. The grade level is going to be 5th, and it's going to be a percentage based. You can also do not graded as well. And then there are like 154 lessons. Now this is very important. I'm going to choose the scheduled days: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And you can put any additional details that you would like in here. But now I'm just going to create that course. And now I can see that I have Saxon Math in here. And if I click on that, it tells me to add a lesson. So in this case, the course is already chosen. The student is already chosen. And I'm just going to choose lesson 1. Now, if you don't schedule it, this will auto schedule for the next Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday based on the days. Remember, when I created the course, I chose Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So if I don't schedule a specific day here, it will schedule it on the very next Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. Now, if this lesson now the course is graded, but if this lesson is ungraded, then I can actually choose to not require a grade. However, I'm going to do that now, and I'm just going to say that it is a worksheet, and I'm going to create that lesson. And then, of course, I can add another lesson, add another course, or add another subject. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to add courses for both John and Jane, and then we're going to take a look at the planner feature. Okay, so as you can see here, I've added 4 different subjects and then 2 courses in each of these so far for each of our students. And then within these courses, I've actually created some lessons as well. So you can see the subject, the course, the student, and then the lessons for that student, and then the course and student and lessons for the next student. And it's the same with these as well. You can see the course and lessons for all of these, and I can just keep expanding it out however long I would like it. But what I would like to show us now is how to add a course with multiple students. So if I hit create a Bible basics course, I can click allow multiple students, and I can simply select the children that are going to be in that course. And then I can name the course, select the school year. We'll go ahead and say that this one is not graded, and the lessons are going to be every day of the school year, and it's going to be all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 school days each week, and I'm going to create the course. So then I'm going to click in, and you're going to see that both John and Jane are enrolled in this course, and when I add a lesson, I can select all the students, and then we can type in the lesson. So let's just say we're reading Genesis 1, and again, this will auto-schedule since I chose Monday through Friday, so I'm going to create lesson. And now it is created lessons for John and Jane, and they are scheduled for December 1st. So I'm just going to go in here and add a few more lessons, and then we'll check out the planner calendar. Okay, so as you can see here, I created one lesson, but that one lesson went into both students, which is good for like morning basket time or field trips or daily Bible readings like this. And now it's my pleasure to show you the planner. So if you go to the planner, right now we don't have anything scheduled this week because this is a fresh account. But you can see a couple of things. I can change it to a 7-day view or a 5-day view. I can add a new lesson here. I can also organize it by student or by subject, or I can choose the day view as well. The day view is more for mobile, which this looks really good on mobile as well. And then I can also select it by individual students as well. So if I want to move to the next week, I can hit here or here. And then now you can see this is in the by student view. So if we click into Jane, we see all of the things that she has scheduled for Monday. And we can click into each one of them, and we can actually mark it as complete, or we can skip it, or we can add a grade for it if it is a graded activity. And then the same thing for John right here and here as well. Now I can also show you the by subject view. So now we can see whatever subjects we're doing. And this is where we get really, really powerful. These are actually drag and drop. So I can actually drag math over to here, and then math is now here because there was not a math scheduled. So I'm going to move it back. Now it's over here, but now I'm going to try to move it to the 4th where there already is a math. And there's a scheduling conflict. So I can choose to do a few things. I can double up. So we can do 2 math that day. We can push all future lessons forward, meaning that math, if it's scheduled on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, it will push everything forward to work on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. Or I can actually just skip, this is dangerous, but you can actually just skip this lesson completely. So for things like Bible, if everybody's sick and you're not going to do it that day, then you can go ahead and click skip. But I exited out, which means no changes were done. You can also move the students as well. So I can move Jane over here, but that's going to give me the same message. There are conflicts. So I'm just going to cancel that. And you can also move individual lessons. So for instance, Jane doesn't have a reading lesson on Wednesday. So say if you can't do reading on Tuesday, you can go ahead and move reading on Wednesday, and then there it is. So I can actually move it back to Jane over here. And then she only has 2, and then her reading lesson is back over here. So this is basically your planner, like your week on a fly, like, oh, we can't do that day. We've got this going on. We can't do this that day. We got this going on. This is where you can actually make quick changes to your lesson plan, and it actually works for you instead of you having to go in and click in a bunch of things, change dates and stuff like that. Which, though, you can actually edit the lesson. You can change the schedule date in here if you would like to do that as well. So that is the planner calendar. Now we also have attendance. So we have simple things. So you can mark all present, absent, sick, and then mark all holiday. Now you also have this hours optional thing. Some states do require a certain number of hours for their students. So we put this in here to keep better track there. But once you mark all present, you can actually save attendance. And you can see they are all marked as present on the 29th. And then there's also reports, which will keep track. So for instance, 2 students have been present, but if I go back here and I type in 6 hours for John and 6 hours for Jane, and then save attendance again, I can go back and now 6 hours have been added to both of them. Now this is a very simple grade book right now. Once you actually mark lessons as complete, they will show up as needs grading. And then once you grade them, they will show up as graded. very, very soon, hopefully early in the new year, maybe even toward the tail end of this year, we're going to have a comprehensive grading and reporting tool to give things like report cards and things like that for all of your students, allow you to add weighting to different things like tests and worksheets, but that will be coming soon. And if you are the parent of a high school student, we have a very in-depth transcript creation tool that you can create transcripts for any student of yours in high school, which will allow you to keep track of their progress. All of your details are already imported in from your school. You can add their 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade courses. You can change important details like their SAT and ACT scores. You can also change the grading scale. You can require a manual signature or an electric signature, and you can even request a human review. Now, all features in the Homeschooler app, now and in the future, are completely included in your Homeschooler app subscription. However, we're also launching a co-op manager, which is not included as part of this in the very near future. And any services like our manual human homeschool review are not included in your subscription. However, all features, everything that we are going to do and add to this, which we hope that you will be a part of influencing those features, will be included in your future lifetime subscription. So if you're interested, it is only $77 right now. That price will not stay the same for very long. And then very, very soon, we're going to move to a monthly or annual recurring revenue model. So I would suggest and highly encourage you to get that lifetime membership while you can. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at hello@homeschoolerapp.app, and we'll be happy to serve you there. Thanks.